How's it going? Mike here, the Fresh Rinse. The day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and it's time to winterize Jazzy. I'm done for the year. I'm through washing 2023. I'm looking forward to 2024, but in the meantime, we've got to winterize Jazzy, and I'm going to take you through the process step by step as I do it. Before we continue, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell tab. You and I will never miss another video together. And then be sure and leave a comment. All that helps the channel. I'm trying to get to 8,000 subscribers, and you can help me do that. Thank you very much. All right, the first thing that we are going to do in winterizing Jazzy is to eliminate all the water from the buffer tank. The second thing we're going to do is pull out all of our hoses and allow them to drain out into the street. Then we're going to dismantle the 12 volt, very, very simple. The next thing we're going to do is to start our machines draining any water from the pump. Then we're going to pull the check valves, one from each pump. We're going to take one battery, which is the battery to the 10 GPM machine, store it for the winter, put it on trickle charge. Then we're going to cover each of the machines in a plastic bag, the same for both hose reel sets, and then we will pretty much be done. There may be a few things along the way, but that's pretty much how I winterize my rig. Don't go anywhere. So again, the first thing we will do is drain all the water from the buffer tank. I think I've got about 150 gallons there in the tank. While that water is draining, I'm going to pull all the hoses again, draining them into the gutter. Okay, so I have all my hoses draining down into the gutter at the street, with the exception of my hose which goes to the AR45. In the spring, I plan to get all new hose. I hate this stuff. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's like a frozen Twizzler when it's cold. And even in the warm weather, it's so super stiff. Anyways, I'm getting all new hose, so I'm not worried about that. Now, I cannot emphasize enough, when you are winterizing, in particular long term for the entire winter, the importance of winterizing your hoses. I had a dear friend this past spring start up his equipment. He had forgotten to winterize his hoses, and all 200 feet of pressure hose completely burst. So you got to get all the water out of your hoses in the process of winterizing. All of our water is drained now from our buffer tank, and at this point I'm going to drain all the water from the 12 volt pump and then remove that, put it in the garage for storage. And that's all she wrote. Okay, moving to the back of the rig, I want to winterize both machines. I do that by removing all the water from the pump as much as possible, and I do that by simply starting the machine, allowing it to run until there's no more water coming out of the hose. Now I will take my 30 millimeter socket and I will remove this corner check valve from the 8 GPM pump. It's rather easy for me because I've done it several times already. The first time you remove this plug, you'll need a cheater bar. It's very, very tight. But when you replace the plug, it is not necessary to put it back super, super tight. As long as it's tight, we'll reach in, get this check valve, put this here, and this machine is winterized. Now we'll do the same thing for the 10 gallon a minute machine. Already, I can read the comments that I know inevitably are going to come. And some of you are going to say this is not enough to winterize this pump. Most assuredly it is. Here's what we need to remember about water when it freezes. All it needs is an escape route. It's not necessary to involve antifreeze and other supplements into the pump in order to winterize it. It just needs an escape route. At this point, there's only surface water in the pump. Even if it were to freeze, and it will, it's not enough to crack the head on this pump. And actually, in the process of freezing, it's going to want to find an escape route, and it will find that escape route at the check valve opening. Much like the pipes in your home, in the severe extreme cold weather, you might crack a valve just enough to give the water an escape route. If you don't do that, then sure enough, when the water freezes, when it thaws, it expands and it causes the pipe to burst. In this case, it cannot expand because there's nothing in there to expand, and what is in there has an escape route. That's all we need to do to winterize this machine. I'm going to do the same thing for the 10 GPM machine. The only difference is I'm going to take the battery and put it inside. The battery for the 8 gallon per minute machine is what runs the truck, and that battery is connected to this battery. Throughout the winter months, I will start the vehicle once or twice a week, let it run for 5 minutes. That will keep the truck battery and this battery charged throughout the entire winter. Come spring, it'll be ready to go. So with that, the last thing I need to do is to winterize whatever gasoline I have in the tank, and I'll do that simply by adding a couple of ounces of Stabil, and that should do it. So essentially that takes care of all the winterizing. At this point, I simply need to roll up my hoses, get them nice and neat, then park the truck on the other side of the house, and we'll be completely winterized, done washing for the 2023 wash season. And because I know someone is going to ask, I use a 3/4 inch fill hose. I've had this for probably 4 years, never had a problem. I paid about $55 per 100 feet length of 3/4 inch fill hose. I got it from Royal King, again, probably 4 years ago. I keep 200 feet of 3/8 single wire pressure hose on my reel at all times, and I keep 2 full lengths of 50 feet as backup here on the rig as well. I get them from Amazon for about $55, $60 per length. Again, this is 4 lengths of 50 feet 3/8 single wire pressure washing hose. Okay, so now I have both machines completely wrapped. That's just for added protection, not absolutely necessary, but I have the material, so may as well do it. So with that, Jazzy is completely winterized. All I have to do is park it on the other side of the house. About once, maybe twice a week, I'll come out, start Jazzy for about 5 minutes, and that's it. Until then, I'm not even looking at Jazzy until I begin washing again, March 1st, Lord willing, 2024. So there you have it. That's how I winterize Jazzy. Gonna put her away and I'm done. Hey, it's been a great year, 2023. I've got tons of videos coming up over the next few months. I had hoped to get the exclusively fresh page going back in October, but the building of Jazzy kind of got in the way of that. I got overwhelmed, business picked back up, and then the holidays. Anyways, so much going on. In addition to that, myself and Jeremy Messer have a really cool YouTube project coming up, and you do not want to miss that. All of that will be announced as we go. All right, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell tab, and also be sure to leave a comment. I really want to get to the 8,000 subscriber mark very, very soon. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Look forward to talking to you soon. More videos coming up in the next few days. Mike, the Fresh Rinse, and I'm out.